In the land of Uz, there lived a remarkable man named Job. He was a beacon of goodness. Job was blameless and upright, a true paragon of virtue. He revered God and turned away from all evil. Job was blessed with immense wealth and prosperity. He owned 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen and 500 donkeys. He had a multitude of dedicated servants. Job was the most esteemed man in all the East. He was blessed with a loving family of 7 sons and 3 daughters. Job was a man of profound piety. He regularly made burnt offerings out of love and concern for his children. Job's faith and prosperity were renowned even in the heavenly realms. One day the angels gathered before God, and Satan was also present. God asked Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." God was immensely proud of Job. Satan, in his cunning, replied to God. He suggested that Job's piety was a result of God's blessings. Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan questioned. He implied that if Job's wealth and comfort were taken away, he would curse God. God, confident in Job's faith, allowed Satan to test him, but forbade Satan from harming Job physically. And so began Job's trials. Tragedy struck Job's life in swift succession. First, Sabaeans attacked and stole his oxen and servants. Then, fire from heaven consumed his sheep and their shepherds. After that, Chaldeans raided and took away his camels, killing his servants. Finally, a powerful wind struck the house where his children were feasting, causing it to collapse and kill them all. Faced with these unimaginable tragedies, Job's grief was immense. He tore his robe in mourning and shaved his head. Yet he did not curse God. Instead, he fell to the ground and worshipped. "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away," Job said. "May the Lord's name be praised." Even in the face of unimaginable suffering, Job remained steadfast in his faith. When news of Job's plight reached his friends Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, they came to comfort him. They sat with him in silence for 7 days and nights, overwhelmed by the magnitude of his suffering. When Job finally spoke, he cursed the day he was born, his words heavy with despair. Job's friends, convinced that his suffering was punishment for some hidden sin, urged him to repent. They argued that God is just and punishes the wicked. Job, however, maintained his innocence, refusing to confess to sins he did not commit. He questioned God's justice, feeling abandoned and wronged. As Job grappled with his pain and his friends' accusations, God spoke. From a whirlwind, God questioned Job about the creation of the universe, the wonders of nature, and the limits of human understanding. God's words were not a direct answer to Job's suffering, but a powerful reminder of his power and wisdom. Humbled by God's presence, Job acknowledged his limited understanding. He recognized the vastness of God's creation and his own smallness in comparison. "I know that you can do all things," Job confessed. "No purpose of yours can be thwarted." Job's faith, though tested, had not been extinguished. He finally understood that God's ways are higher than his own. God rebuked Job's friends for their misguided judgments and instructed them to offer sacrifices. He then blessed Job abundantly, restoring his health, wealth, and family. Job lived a long life, blessed with more children and prosperity than before. The story of Job is a powerful testament to the resilience of faith in the face of adversity. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, when we question God's plan, He is still in control. Job's story teaches us that true faith endures through suffering, emerging stronger and deeper than before. It challenges us to trust in God's wisdom and goodness, even when we cannot comprehend His ways.